But I wanted to warn you about, first of all, about the treat bag problem. The treat bag is an institution of Southern churches. Most people know this. It's an ugly brown sack with a couple of pecans and there's a set number of things you put in the treat bag. But we had an unconverted husband who wanted to help one year. Now this is Alvin Oxendine's son-in-law. Alvin Oxendine is the director of the Oxendine Funeral Home, Leedsboro, North Carolina. He has 11 sons, and all 11 of them try to sing. And anyway, had an unconverted son-in-law who put beer nuts in the treat bags. I lost 4 families from the church. This is a concerning thing. Please have a monitor help you with your treat bags. There are sincere people out there who want to help, who can't help. Those children, they just weep when I preach. And then there's the problem we had with, well, what I didn't tell you about was a Coon Hunters Fellowship, which I told you was affiliated with the Bucksville Master. That the Deer Hunters Fellowship, no, it was a Coon Hunters Fellowship, had a living Christmas tree. And they all put on camouflage clothes, climbed up in the trees, and spelled out Merry Christmas in the camouflage, and all had floodlights. And the church people all went out 3 o'clock in the morning on the Saturday morning to see these wonderful men acting out the great Merry Christmas. It was a wonderful thing. But then we had the Living Nativity at Lemkin's Memorial. Now, Marcelle Lemkins is the daughter of Isaiah Moroni Lemkins, who is the founder of the church. And she's a church secretary. And she's the one that keeps me in line. Stays in behind me, makes sure that I do everything I'm supposed to do. So most of my days, I don't have a problem visiting. I had to get away from the church or she'll chew me out. But she was playing Mary in the nativity scene. This is bad, this is concerning. You don't want this to ever happen. But how many of you know here tonight, on the sound of my voice, that we do not have many Middle Eastern animals in Eastern Tennessee? We have to utilize what we have. How many know you just have to go with what you got? And so instead, we didn't have camels. You do not see camels roaming the mountains of East Tennessee. If you did, be concerning. Somebody told me one time that a camel was when a deacon board got together and designed a horse. But we did not have camels or anything. We had, you know, horses, and we had chickens, and Lucky provided all of the righteous roosters. And then we had some billy goats. The particular brand and breed of billy goat which we had was a fainting goat. But it was not a backward goat at all. It was highly aggressive. And just about the time the whole city showed up to look at the live nativity outside Lemkin's Memorial, and Marcelle Lemkins was there holding the baby in her arms. One of those fainting billy goats ran the manger. He ran, and then the other ones set out to doing it, and they ran the manger. Until Marcelle was hemmed in a corner in the back of the barn. The wise men were swinging their crooks. And finally, the climax of the whole thing, which led to the tragedy, was Marcelle, she always packed a pistol with her at the church office. And she pointed it in the air. Now this was a photograph that the newspaper man got. Was of Mary holding the baby Jesus with a pistol. It was a concerning thing. She was not going to hurt anyone. She knows the liabilities in the church. But she was going to teach these billy goats a lesson. And she fired 2 warning shots. And the goats fainted. They all passed out right beside the manger. And it looked like a Benny Hinn meeting. You had all the animals laying on the floor. You holy roller people are so much fun. I come see y'all again. But the Humane Society has brought charges against the church because they believe that Marcel shot the billy goat. Because they just heard the shots. It was like the grassy knoll in Dallas, Texas. They heard the shots ring out. And next thing you knew, the billy goats were laying everywhere. They say they believe there's a second gunman. And they have traced the trajectory. But I don't believe it. There's a scandal. But the billy goat passed out. A bullet never struck a person or an animal. But the liberals have suing us. They are suing us. Well, Tavis, I can't say to you how much this has meant to me to be here tonight. I felt a stirring down in my intestinal fortitude as I was up speaking tonight. I don't know if it's Italian food or if it's just the goodness of it all. I like to say, power God to these great